Tang Dynasty is the greatest, most powerful and representative dynasty in Chinese history. The diversity of its culture is breathtaking. Its cultural beauty has reached the peak of Chinese history. Chang'an, as the imperial capital of the Tang Dynasty, is a global metropolis attracting worldwide attention. Since 1950s, a large number of exquisite murals have been unearthed in the tombs of nobilities of Chang'an. These murals objectively show the daily life of Tang Dynasty aristocrats and emperors with strong realism. It is an excellent historical material to understand the Tang culture and an important witness of the myriad ancient civilizations around the world. Researchers conclude from this mural that the main features of Tang Dynasty are openness and inclusiveness. Tang people are willing to accept foreign culture and new things, and the polo picture can justify this feature. In the polo picture, several Chinese are riding Western houses to play polo, a sport originated from the Tajik people in Xinjiang area. The painter showed the speed and strength in the polo game vividly by depicting the postures and motions of both people and horses. After appreciating this painting, I felt as if I had traveled to an intense and exciting polo match. The openness of Tang Dynasty came from the Silk Road. The Silk Road was about 6,500 kilometers long and connected several countries in Asia and Europe. It began in Chang'an and ended in Rome. It transported Chinese porcelain and tea to Europe, and European food, species, animals, and glass to China. This path has not only promoted trading goods between two areas, but also facilitated exchanges of culture, religion, and art. Meantime, the social status of women in the Tang Dynasty was greatly improved. Women could freely choose their clothes, become officials, be promoted to nobility, and even become the emperor. Wu Zetian was a good example. She was the first and the only female emperor in the Chinese history. Historians then dug up and analyzed the murals of Tang Dynasty to understand the culture of Tang. They found that Tang murals were influenced by Western and Middle Eastern countries, so they became culturally diversified. Most importantly, these murals have an outstanding feature, realism, which is completely different from that of other dynasties. The mural maids show the elegance of the course made in the Tang Dynasty. The maids are graceful, their faces are rich, and their bow reveals the gentleness and modesty. This is the first lady I want to talk about in the tomb of Xinqing Princess. With a gentle face and downcast eyes, she excludes a hint of shyness. Carrying an exquisite fan, she stands gracefully, embodying the poise of a refined body. The second maid I want to talk about comes from the mural in the tombs of Yongtai Princess. Upright and elegant, she wears a subtle smile on her lips. Her luxurious attire underscores her noble status and refined demeanor. The last maid also comes from the murals of Xinqing Princess. Her eyes sparkle with curiosity as she glances beyond the frame. And she shows the playfulness and vivacity of a young lady. This mural depicts a diplomatic scene with figures from the Honglu Temple and officials from Eastern Rome, Syria, and Mongol ethnicity. The painting highlights the custom characteristics of people from ancient Eastern Roman Empire, Syria, and ethnic minorities in the northeast China, demonstrating the cultural diversity of Tang Dynasty. These videos are about the close of the northern barbarian tribes in ancient China. And they are for female and male respectively. Before Tang Dynasty, murals from Shang and Zhou Dynasty were about religion and were related to sacrifice, divination, and other things. These are the murals in Ming Dynasty. Unlike those in Tang, which mainly depicts real people and show a strong realism, they mostly pen about religious cases like Buddhist and Taoist. Although the murals of Tang Dynasty have strong representative significance and artistic value, they have not been fully protected and paid attention to because of their relatively late excavation. Thus, they own a minor status in the cultural stage. To have an understanding of people's opinion of Tang murals, I conducted interviews and a questionnaire survey.
了解很透彻，但是之前在学校的那个文讲解课上了解到过，然后帮助宗教马球多。
我不是很了解，但是我在历史书上曾经看到过。
我了解一点，就是唐朝，他们画在墙上的画，对吧？然后那个我知道有那个功法。
多少有点了解，以前也去看过。
这个壁画不知道唐朝的壁画。
不知道。
那我觉得比较保护，因为像这么漂亮的这个壁画，它非常可惜嘛。
我还是挺感兴趣的，因为不光在历史书上，我在电视上也经常看到这个东西，所以我觉得它很好看，然后我也希望它能保护这个东西。
当然愿意，毕竟这属于唐代的一个特色，也能反映出唐朝的真实情况。
我觉得还是挺有文化价值的。其实我看的更多的都是从舞蹈啊，还有一些传说里面看的。我觉得这是中国很珍贵的瑰宝，应该被保护下来。
可以啊，快去。
你刚刚画的画就是唐朝的一个壁画，那你想了解它吗？
The results show that only a small number of people have some knowledge of Tang murals. Moreover, the Tang mural paintings, as a heavy brush in the Chinese art history, have not yet been included in the cultural curriculum of most Chinese primary and secondary schools. I feel it a huge pity, and I think any positive culture should not be ignored, and every kind of art is worth inheriting. As a high school student who loves history, I decided to do something for this world treasure. I went to the museum to have a look. Because the original works cannot be exposed to light and have the quite demanding preservation environment, I visited replicas of those delicate works. However, after the visits of museum and other offline learning like watching documentaries and searching for references, I found that it was impossible to delve deeper only by myself. So I interviewed Mr. Wang Jianqi. He's an advanced researcher in Shanxi Museum. And he is probably the person who knows Tang Mural the best in China or even the world.
而在这个时代呢，你不写实就不行。为什么呢？你要用你的话语，就有点类似今天的照相机一样、摄像机一样的摄影摄像媒体，你都得跟上，这是时代对他的要求。这么样一回答时代，你说你写一些，你画一些关于神话的传说的内容，你说有没有意义？我就觉得意义已经不大了。你要记住，你要跟时代的脉络相走。
In today's society, people no longer fanatically pursue those elusive deities unless to a large extent, but to expect the future of their own lives. People toil and moil to create a better tomorrow, which is a result of their tangible contribution. Therefore, the realism of Tang Dynasty murals is actually compatible with modern society.
必须的，因为这些地方虽然在中国境内是属于中国的文化遗产，可是我认为它应该是属于全人类的。你包括法国的、意大利的、日本的，包括韩国的，太多了，德国的都有，都有。因为这就成为了一种国际共识，互相的取长补短、借鉴，这样人类才能进步。
Well, that's true. As a common artistic treasure of humankind, the Tang murals have been protected and shared by people all over the world. In fact, all culture and art do not belong to a single country, but the whole world and the entire humankind.
可行，不过对于你来说，有没有美术基础非常重要，和这个时代呢息息相关，才能够做到很远。In order to make people aware of the protection Tang Murals worth, I went to the streets to hand out leaflets to passers-by.
I also designed a culture shirt to propagate Tang Murals. I think it's a good idea to make my mission start with kids, so I found a child and taught him to paint Tang murals. Tang murals have the research value of art, history, and humanistic concept. Protecting these delicate arts is to protect the real history of China. I wish there's one day I can let him, let her, let them, and let all know and pass on Tang murals. And I believe the day is not that far.